It's Envirotech TV. Brought to you by the Mighty Mount, world's best engine test stand. Rust Be Gone, one-step rust remover. Pete and Jake's Hot Rod Parts. Alumabrite aluminum cleaner and aluminum boat cleaner. And our lovely and talented host, Miss Amber Zine. I'm here today at the home of Pete and Jake's Hot Rod Parts in Peculiar, Missouri. Pete and Jake's is a family-owned business, and they manufacture some really great hot rod parts. And it's the home of several legendary hot rods. I'm here with Jason Slover of Pete and Jake's. He's going to tell us a little bit more about the legend of the California Kid.
You bet, Mark. Thanks for coming. The California Kid was a TV movie that starred Martin Sheen, and he was the California Kid, and there was also Vic Morrow and Nick Nolte. It was a movie that aired on CBS, and it was done by Universal Studios. In 1973, Pete, the old Pete from Pete and Jake's, had finished a 34 Ford three-window coupe, and at that point it was just a black flamed three-window. And then the movie producer, Harry Horowitz, had seen the Rod and Custom magazine sitting on the coffee table of a relative at Thanksgiving. Saw the car, said, "That's the car that I want for the movie we're doing." Contacted Rod and Custom, got in touch with Pete, and the rest was history. And that's the story of the California Kid on how the car became a movie car. There was only one car used in the movie, so those of you that have seen the movie, or those of you that haven't, I recommend you see it, will show you that that one car did all of the stunts. At that time, they didn't have a budget for 3 or 4 or 5 cars, so that one car did everything. But we still have the car here in our showroom, as you see behind us. Directly behind me is the California Kid 2. That was a car that we built in 1990, and it was the newest addition from the new Pete and Jake's, after we had purchased Pete and Jake's from Pete Chaporis and Jim Jacobs, and we moved it to Kansas City. Next to it is Jake's Coupe. That was the car that was also built in 1973, and that's how Pete and Jake became friends, when Pete was building the California Kid and Jake was building his coupe as well.
That's a great story, Jason. Thanks for sharing that with us. Yeah, as I said, they manufacture some really great hot rod parts here. We're going to take a little walk through and take a look and see what you got here.
You bet. Thanks for coming. And Mark, what we've got here, this is the very first 4-bar that Pete and Jake ever did. This is on the front end of Jake's coupe. Actually, Pete's car next to it, the California Kid here, it also has a 4-bar on it. That's what Pete and Jake, that was one of their very first claims to fame, was the actual 4-bar front suspension. And this actually is the first 4-bar that Jake ever did. It's still on the car, and it has well over 150,000 miles on it. Hey Mark, what I'm showing you here is the Alumabeam axle. It's the industry's only forged aluminum axle. As you can see here, it has the round holes in it. We also offer it plain or with oval holes. You can get it in a full polish or a machine finish or a highlight polish, which is what I'm showing you here. This axle only weighs 9.5 pounds in comparison to the normal I-beam axle, which weighs 27. Mark, what I'm holding here is the new filled end axle. Similar to the 50s and 60s style, when guys would take an original Ford axle and fill the ends in on it, we actually make it this way. It comes out of the casting already with filled ends. Once again, as you can see, it's drilled. We also have it in a undrilled finish, and we have it in plain and also in chrome. This axle weighing a little bit more than what the Alumabeam weighs, it's still one of the staple things in the hot rod industry, the Super Bell I-beam. What we're taking a look at now are 4 of our most popular brake kits. What we've got here is the spindle mount kit, designed for the Holobrand style spindle mounts. Those of you guys that have the old Holobrands, this is a kit for you. We've got here, this is our Super Bell Super Stopper disc brake kit. This kit is offered with a 360-degree backing plate, as you see, full polished, or also offered with our very popular Fin kit to give that traditional look. Over here we've got our basic kit. We refer to this as the basic kit because it comes with all of our standard front ends. It utilizes a GM caliper, and a GM or a Mopar rotor for that 5x4.5 pattern. This kit shows a couple of upgrades that are new for Pete and Jake's. One of them is the caliper cover. So you can take a 1978 and up GM caliper and dress it up by putting an aluminum caliper cover on it. Then we also have the dust shield, the chrome-plated dust shield, which will fit on the basic kit. So those of you guys out there that have the basic kit on your car and have had it on there for several years, but you want an upgrade, these are the parts for you. What we're sitting in front of now are two of the Winners quick changes. We handle a full line of Winners quick changes on our chassis, and we also sell them just for the guys that already have a chassis but want to update it. What you're looking at here is the V8, which is the smaller version, one of the original traditional style quick change rear ends. This one is the Champ rear end, also referred to as the Championship rear end. A little heavier, a little bigger, handle a little bit more horsepower than what this one will. You can see that these have a highlight style polish, something new for Winners. It's not a full polish, it just has just the fins and the portions of it are highlighted. You can get it with a fender rear cover, traditional, or you can get it with a smooth rear cover. But this is a very, very popular option on our chassis. Up here in front, you'll see our new 9-inch Ford cover. That is a piece of artwork that was designed by Tom Taylor. We like the way that it looked, the Art Deco style finish with a nice Pete and Jake logo in the center of it. Something a little different versus the fin cover that you see on today's hot rods. That cover goes right onto a 9-inch Ford. It'll fit the double hump stock style 9-inch Ford or also the new version smoothback housing. This is an example of one of our complete front ends. We use this as one of our mini displays that we take to shows, much smaller than a normal front end, so we can put it on a table. But what this shows, it shows our Posey springs that we use, the Super Bell axle, the Super Bell disc brake kits, of both versions, the fin backing plate and also the smooth. I've also set out some things here to show some upgrades that you can do. We have our new aluminum shock, which we call the Alumirod shock. This gives you a much more stable and controlled ride on your buggy spring front ends. We also have here the headlight and shock mount combo that can be replaced on any one of our chassis or be replaced in the front end whenever you order one. We also show here the Jake Nerf. We also sell a variety of Nerf bars. The Nerf bar that we've been filming in front of here in the California Kid is available, as well as the one that was on the front of Jake's Coupe in a single Nerf. These are also available without the drop bar, so they'll just be two single Nerfs. They're designed originally for a 33-34 Ford, but they can be used on any vehicle that you've got, whether it be from a rat rod or a truck or a car. They're universal in their applications. You drill the holes and you can mount them on wherever you want.
Well, thanks a lot, Jason. That was a really great tour of Pete and Jake's hot rod parts we had today here. Really appreciate you taking the time with me to do this, and thank you for keeping the art of hot rodding alive.
You bet. Glad to have you. Thank you very much.